What's going on, 49er Faithful, 49er fan, 49er Gang? This is your boy, Niner Gang Podcast, back in the building with another video. So definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notifications so I can keep you up to date on any and everything San Francisco 49ers. With that being said, let's get right into it. Thank you for everybody, stopping in. Hey, Mom. What's up, Throwback? What's going on, Don? So this one, this video specifically, we're speaking in reference to the NFC West. Who's got the best receiving core? Now, I only picked the top two to really get in depth on as far as numbers and figures. But we'll give honorable mention to some of these other guys. We'll actually show the depth charts and we'll go over a few things. So let's go ahead and get rolling with that. Of course, we're going to start with the beloved San Francisco 49ers and talk about them first. We do have top two receivers were Brandon Ayuk. He played 16 games. He had 75 receptions for 1,342 yards. He averaged 17.9 yards per catch. His longest catch was 76 yards. He fumbled once, and he has 382 yak yards. So that tells you that his 17.9 yards per catch is definitely something that's a true, very close to a true number, just based off the fact that he doesn't have a ton of yak. That means he's being hit in stride, or he's just always, there for those chunk plays. Now, the next guy that we have, obviously, is going to be Deebo Samuel. Deebo played 15 games. He had 60 receptions for 892 yards, 14.9 yards per catch, 7 TDs. His longest catch was 54 yards. He did have one fumble, but he did also, out of the 892 yards, he had 527 yak yards. So that's just Deebo, being the gadget guy that he is, being the playmaker that he is, just basically saying to himself, like, hey, once I get the ball, I got to make something happen. And that's just what he does, and he's the best in them. Best in the league at doing things like that. He also had 37 carries rushing for 225 yards, 6.1 yards per 6.1 yards per carry, and then he also had several TDs there. So that just tells you right off the bat that this situation, as far as what we have going with, Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. What's going on, CG? It tells you automatically right off the bat, boom, we have two of the top receivers in the NFC West, period. Just based off of everything I just gave you right there, based off of how Deebo is a one-man wrecking crew, based off of how BA can run the whole route tree and is a very valuable receiver who we need to go ahead and give his damn money, stop playing around. Please, John, please, Parag, please, Jed, that everybody just come together, kumbaya, give BA his money and let's sit down and everybody chill out. Because we still got to pay Brock next year. And that's going to be rough, trying to pay Brock and trying to pay him. So then you go ahead and look at the rest of the guys on the team as far as that's concerned. For the wide receivers, you have Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, first-round pick, Jacob Cowing, Ronnie Bell, Danny Gray, Chris Connolly, Tate Martin, Trent Taylor, and Tariq Owens. Tariq Owens is obviously the son of Terrell Owens, another 49er, great 49er legend, who is top 3 in receiving in just about every category. So definitely, at the end of the day, he came here probably because this was – the best suited place for him as far as, getting an opportunity to be able to try to get onto an NFL roster. But I can tell you right now, out of that whole crew, you're definitely going to have Deebo. You're definitely going to have Brandon Ayuk. You're definitely going to have Juwan Jennings. You will definitely keep Ricky Pearsall. I do believe Ronnie Bell makes this team. I do believe we keep Jacob Cowing. And I think the last guy there is probably going to be either Chris Connolly or Trent Taylor. The reason being is because those guys are, possible dudes to set up for like returns or something. With these new return rules, the way it's structured, I have no idea. It's just really mind-boggling and confusing. They could just let the shit alone, but it just gets dumber and dumber each year. And they always try to use the idea, we're going with, hey, what's going on, faithfully, Mariah? So they always use the lie and the fact of, it's for player safety. It's not about player safety. It's because you guys are taken away from the game. So, we all kind of feel that strain when we're looking at this stuff because it's just extremely unfortunate when they short us on, the level of things that we would love to see. So we're going to jump on over to the Los Angeles Rams. and talk about them and talk about their top two receivers. One of their receivers I absolutely love. This guy is flat out fantastic. He was great while he did his thing, and I am not mad at him at all. So we're going to start off with the Los Angeles Rams. Of course, we all know Cooper Kupp. He only played 12 games, and we all know he was missing time due to injury. 59 receptions, 737 yards, averaged 12.5 yards per catch, had 5 TDs. Longest catch was 62 yards. 322 out of that 737 yards were yak yards. He did not fumble this year. And the guy that I fell in love with, man, that fellow Tongan, like my man Talanoa Hufanga, Puka Nakua, played 17 games, 105 receptions, 1,486 yards, 14.2 yards per catch, 6 TDs. Longest catch was 80 yards. He fumbled once, and out of the 1,486 yards, 640 of those were yak yards. So that tells you that man was constantly open, that he was doing the damn thing, and he was making it happen regardless of what was going on, man. It's straight crazy. Puka Nakua had a fantastic year. If CJ Stroud wasn't as great as he was as quarterback, I think Puka Nakua could have been able to go ahead and get that Rookie of the Year. But it kind of is what it is. So the rest of the guys, you got DeMarcus Robinson, you got Tutu Atwell, Jordan Whittington, Tyler Johnson, Xavier Smith, Drake Stute, Sam Wogluz, and J.J. Lapp. So, I think the only name I really recognize from here is Tutu Atwell. Do know who he is, and he's he's a nice little quick twitch kind of guy, and he's definitely a viable threat if he gets out there and you give him too much space, he's going to make you miss. Really good receiver. But I'll say that as far as the other guys, Puka Nakua and Cooper Kupp are going to be a great duo for years to come. It's just whenever they have to pay Puka Nakua, that's going to be, something that the Rams are going to have to figure out. But either way, Puka and Cooper Kupp, definitely a very, very viable threat to that top crown when it comes to the NFC West and wide receiver core. I definitely love what they're doing over there. So we'll go on to the next one and see what else we got. So the next guys up, we are headed up north to Seattle. We will talk about the Seattle Seahawks and their receivers, and we all know who they are. As far as that is concerned, I'm going to close that for you. Let's see here. All right, so we're going to start with, the man, the myth, the legend, DK Metcalf, the man that maintained 22 miles an hour all the way for 100 yards, man. It was flat out insane. He's so fast. DK Metcalf played 16 games, has 66 receptions, 1,114 yards, 16.9 yards per catch, 8 TDs, longest catch was 73 yards, and out of his 1,114 yards, 367 of those were yak yards. Once again, another guy who's always open. Those chunk plays are there for him. You're not throwing him little 5-yard outs. You're putting the ball in the air and letting him go get it, or he's getting himself open, creating separation and doing what he needs to do. So shout out DK Metcalf, man. Really good guy. I love how Fred Warner, played the game as if he didn't antagonize him into, that penalty in that game. But we all know what happens. It worked. Not mad at it. The other guy is Tyler Lockett. Played 17 games, 79 catches, 894 yards, 11.3 yards per catch, 5 TDs, longest catch was 37 yards. He didn't fumble. And out of the 894 yards, he only had 209 yak yards. Another guy who's basically, same thing as DK, but a smaller version. A little bit shorter, a little bit smaller in size, but he does his thing. He gets out there. Tyler Lockett is definitely a viable threat. Now, they do have another guy that I actually do like. And where is he at? His name is Jackson Smith and Jigba. That guy is a beast. I actually like what he does. They've got Laviska Shenault Jr. there. You got, looks like Derek Young. And we have a D. Eskridge, Easthop Winston Jr., D. Williams, and Hayden. So those are the receivers there. But I mean, the main guys you're going to be looking at is DK, Tyler, and Jackson. Those are the guys that are going to be doing it for Seattle, and letting you know what they do and how they do. You know what I mean? So that's basically what it is. So we'll keep it going with that, and give me just a sec. Let's see. So we are. Let's see here. Something wrong with the camera. Give me just a sec, y'all. Something went wrong with this camera. Camera. Let's go there. Let's come back here. All right, there we go. Sorry about that, y'all. Had to fix that really quick. Not sure what happened, but we're still going. So we do have the final group of wide receivers. And the last guys that we're going to talk about here are going to be the Arizona Cardinals. So the Cardinals are usually a little bit of a thorn in our side. They definitely always make sure to, kind of not go down without a fight. that makes sense. But we got the Arizona Cardinals. Now, they do have a new receiver in the house. So we'll talk about him at the end. But for last year, Marquise Hollywood Brown played 14 games, had 51 catches, 574 yards, 11.3 yards per catch, 4 TDs. Longest catch was 41 yards, no fumbles, and he did have 164 yak yards. So, Marquise Hollywood Brown is, another quick twitch kind of guy. One of those dudes that's really fast and will make you miss and do things, just in general to be a little bit of a pain, when it comes to defense, because you try to game plan for guys like that, but they're a little unpredictable with their movements, and you don't know what they're going to do because they're used in such a fashion where they're free to do what they want. They're not, assigned specifically a route or assigned specifically to do just one thing. It's like, if you get the ball, be a playmaker. And that's what we get that freedom to Debo. So that's basically what I'm talking about. But the other guy, Michael Wilson, he was out of Stanford, played 13 games, 38 receptions, 565 yards, 14.9 yards per catch, 3 TDs, longest catch was 69 yards, and he had no fumbles. Now, I remember Michael Wilson because Michael Wilson was a pain in the ass when we played the freaking Cardinals because he was killing us. And I believe we were at home when he was doing this to us, man. He was eating us up. I believe he still won the game, but either way, like, he was really, really doing his thing. So that's basically it for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, they do have, as I stated, a new receiver in Marvin Harrison Jr. He is the new guy. So with that being said, I do believe that you're going to have Marvin Harrison Jr. And you'll have Michael Wilson as the two. And then you're going to have, Harrison Jr. and Wilson are going to be, X and Y. But you'll have Hollywood Brown in there as your slot. Now, provided that works, that can be a viable threat because Michael Wilson was coming along fairly nicely. Marvin Harrison Jr. is Marvin Harrison Jr. His daddy was a cold man. So you're hoping and anticipating the same for the son. But we don't know. So if you want me to give you a ranking of the teams in the NFC West and the wide receiver crew and what they do and how they are, I will have to go ahead and state this. 49ers are number 1, the Rams are 2, the Seahawks are 3rd, and the Cardinals are 4th. The Cardinals are 4th because of the lack of production, along with Kyler Murray's injury. That's a little bit of a rough thing for them to go ahead and have to deal with. And then on top of that, the reason that the Seahawks are 3rd on the list is because while you have what DK Metcalf did, Tyler Lockett doesn't do as much. He is a fantastic receiver. He's a dynamic receiver, and he can boogie on you if he gets behind you. But it's you think about Tyler Lockett, you game plan for him, but you don't game plan for him like you game plan for DK, if that makes sense. And then when it comes to the Rams, they have Puka Nacua. They have Cooper Kupp. You got Tutu Atwell. So those are going to be their three guys. I'd say the only way we could be bumped out of number one is if it was by the Rams. And it's only because both of those guys, like Cooper Kupp, fully healthy, definitely a 1,000-yard receiver, definitely a double-digit touchdown kind of guy. And I do believe that Puka Nacua will be the same. But in this instance, with the numbers and figures that we currently had in front of us, 49ers just seem to be a little bit better overall. Plus, we always had a little more depth when it came to receiver. And, that third and Juwan, or as I call him, Juwan motherfucking Jennings, like all these things come into play. So that's my take on the receivers. We'll come back with another video eventually, and we'll talk about the running backs. We'll go through the whole division and see where we line up against people. Technically speaking, I just dropped this gym already as if it's not known knowledge. We have the best running back in the NFC. We have the best running back in football in general. So kind of is what it is. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in and hanging out with your boy. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend. Trying to continue to grow this channel and make sure I come in and give y'all quality content. More things to come on the way. Thank you so much for hanging out with your boy. Everybody be blessed. Have a wonderful day. Peace.